Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here. Welcome back to another counter side video. Alright, today's video is going to be about the upcoming characters. Alright, as if you guys are not aware, at the time of me posting or recording this video, it's going to be the end of June. So nearing now, we have 2 months ahead of us, July and August. So if you guys are not aware, counter side global, they did post their roadmap alongside with a bunch of other things in their official website. So before you start, don't forget to use the coupon code MELODY for CSGBL. I'm going to link all the coupon codes that we have available so far in the description below. I'll try to pin it in the comments as well. So hopefully you guys put it if you are in global server. So let's jump into it. Alright, so if you guys are not aware, in global, we're just going to look at everything that's happening in July and August, because in June, Sigma and Adele has already been released. We are nearing the end of June, so we're going to move on to July. So look at the list right here. In July, we're going to have Serapel, Alex, and Harab. And then in August, we're going to have Ifrit, Estaque, Naielle, Blue Steel, Mika Star. Now that's a lot of characters. That's a total of 4 plus 3, 7 characters. So let's talk about them individually, starting off with Serapel. Now I think a lot of you guys probably know what she does, but I'm just going to briefly explain while we refer to the C server. Serapel is an SSR defender. She's a 4 cost. She is pretty strong, and I do have her with her costume right now. So she is pretty unique, alright? So she is one of the few defenders in the game that can hit air. Now if you guys are not aware, air units are quite annoying. They are a pain to deal with sometimes, right? So the ability to hit air for a defender is actually quite rare. Alright, so besides that, what is she all about? Her kit is quite different and quite unique. If you notice her stats, she has 0 evasion. Now this doesn't happen to almost any character. I think she's the only character in the game that has complete 0 evasion. Now if you look at her abilities, she needs that 0 evasion so that she can get hit in battle. Her concept is basically her attack will increase by 1% in response to incoming damage up to 99%. This is like crazy for a defender. She does a lot of damage for a defender because of that. So the longer she survives, the more damage she does and she deals. Alright, so in Gauntlet, basically PvP, incoming damage decreases all enemies' HP by 4.5% over 3 seconds. And you can see after every 4th basic attack, she can deliver enhanced AoE attack to the front area. Special skill, hit stun immunity, and damage resistance increase. Right? So her special skill, this one is pretty cool. She takes 50% of... She can taunt the enemy, right, for 8 seconds. She sort of takes damage for surrounding allies, and she achieves 100% higher defense for 8 seconds. So this makes her really a real beast in PvP. So recovers 30% of max HP after the skill. So she has a bit of ability to heal herself, similar to Awaken Yuna in a way. And the last skill, the ultimate skill, this one stuns enemies for 2 seconds and it becomes very bright and cancels all the debuffs cast on her. So yeah, overall I think she's a very solid defender. Is she better than Liumi? Keep in mind she's a 4 cost defender while Liumi is a 3 cost. In some situations she can be tankier, but I still feel like if you have Liumi and Awaken Heal Day, you might want to consider skipping her if you don't have enough blue tickets, because eventually she's going to rerun. She's strong for sure, and she's definitely going to be used a lot in PvP. I think you are going to use her more in PvP than in PvE. I know some of you guys might disagree with me, but Serapel, while she is really strong, the thing is in PvE right now in global, there's not much content that you really need her per se. Maybe once the guild consortium thing comes, that can be an area that she shines. Now let's talk about Alex. She is a 3 cost striker. Now how good is Alex, right? So she's mainly good to detect stealth units. So in PvE, you rarely ever need to do this. Like there might be like some couple of niche stages you need to detect stealth, but if you're trying to detect stealth units, basically those are invisible units, she's the best one to deal with. If you have fought the Chloe's info search before, there's that 2 spinning supporter statue thing that spins around. Those are stealth units. You can't hit them, your characters just walk past them, right? Because they are sort of invisible. But Alex is a pretty decent striker. For 3 costs, she is not bad. Alright, you can see her ability passive skill to detect stealth. She activates her device you know, when her HP drops 50% and below, and this will give her an ability to create barrier for herself. Alright, the barrier thing can be cool for now after Until Awaken Nayubin comes up. So you can see, so yeah, she is immune to hit stun from special or lower skills during the barrier. That can be cool, right? So her special skill, she basically did a slice, right? Inflicts AoE damage in front, increase her max HP by 25% for 12 seconds. I wish this is permanent, like only increase it for a short period of time. As you can see, she has an ability to remove buff as well. So that can be cool. To remove one buff is also something that you can consider using besides Awaken Yuna. And the HP will be increased by 50%. And for the AoE ultimate skill, maximizes her device output. So the more damage, she will do more damage based on more HP loss, which is not bad. So Alex is, you know, she's a pretty interesting character overall. I'm not going to spoil the story, but she appeared alongside with the Ludmilla and the admin characters throughout. So is she a must pull? In my opinion, no. I would say you can skip Alex and you will still be fine. You don't really need her specifically. She can detect stealth, but that's not something that's very important unless you plan to play PvP a lot where stealth is very annoying. Now Harab is much more of a PvP unit than PvE. Harab is a supporter, she is a 3-cost. Now, the thing with Harab is, when C server first came out, Harab was in a counter pass. But right now, Harab is going to be available as a, you know, character in a banner. Now this is going to be interesting. Harab is going to be very, very strong in PvP. Now she counters a lot of characters. What makes her really, really good is this ability right here, her special skill. She has the ability to confuse summon units and increase their attack by 30% for 10 seconds. Now in Gauntlet, which is PvP, this effect is also applied to cost 2 and below units. So what she does is she steals units that doesn't belong to you. If enemy sends out the Iron Sense Y, the twins, or the admin rifleman or admin shieldman, any 2-cost units, boom, Harab will steal it from you and take the unit up. You know, your unit will fight the enemy. So Harab is very, very strong. Now who does Harab counters? Right now, Sigma summons the Daddy CEO, right? So Harab can whip that Sigma Daddy CEO and the Daddy CEO will turn on you and attack you instead. So that's going to be something that's very cancer. Alright, any summon units, you know, like for example, Awaken Yuna has that bird. Harab is going to be quite key to counter Awaken Yuna when she comes out in global. If you can steal the bird, you pretty much win the battle. Alright. So that's something that a lot of players want to consider. If you play PvP a lot, I think Harab is something that you want to consider pulling, especially early on. The faster you get her, the better you can perform in PvP. Now you can see on the passive skill, right? So she increased her attack by 1%, similar to Serapel in a way, right? And her basic attack also damage allies at 1% attack and increase damage resistance by 5% every time. So up to 30%. So this is pretty crazy, and she inflicts true damage by 33% of HP on affected summon links. So Harab is going to be kind of an annoying character to deal with. She's really scary, especially if you're running a soldier team. Harab is known to counter soldier teams generally because most soldier teams are like 2-cost and below. You just steal a bunch of soldiers from the enemies just with one special skill, one whip. Now the ultimate skill for Harab, increase damage resistance by 20%, and also she will apply additional special skill effect on affected targets as well. So she has multiple chances to be able to do that. Now, ideally, you want skill hits on Harab. The more often she can use the special skill, the stronger she is. Now, her whip is really, really important. Ideally, when you use her, she's more of a PvP unit solely. I think she's better than Alex in most cases, right? But the thing is, you almost never use her in PvE. Like, I know she can be used sometimes in Shadow Hall, Shadow Palace. If you want to, any stage that there's soldiers, you can perhaps consider stealing the enemy units. But in most cases, you don't really need her per se in PvE. She doesn't provide much compared to, let's say, Young Harem, right? So if you're a PvP player, for sure, Harab is a must pull. If you don't care about PvP, you can consider skipping her. Now, moving on to characters coming in August, we have Estaque. Alright, so Estaque is a sniper and a mech. Now, the problem with Estaque is, as a 4-cost sniper, this guy is competing with a lot of other snipers. Like almost every other sniper out there is 4-cost. We have Xiaolin, we have Adele, we have Ludmilla coming later on. So I don't see why you need to use Estaque specifically, even if you run a mech team. Like Sylvia is better overall. Sylvia can do so much as a sniper, right? So this guy, he's been buffed, but I don't think he's that good. Alright, so if you look at Estaque generally, the issue here is a couple of things. Number one, he doesn't move around. Even though he's a sniper, Estaque is almost like a tower unit. It just stays at the spot and starts shooting away, right? And then he has the ability to cast barrier equal to 70% of max HP, up to 100% if you max the passive skill, right? And this gets destroyed by Awakened Naielle if you max this out. So you can see the passive skill basically increase attack by 2% every time it hits an opponent, alright, and it will increase the attack speed as well. And one more passive skill, decrease target's attack speed by 15% for 3 seconds, or decrease attack speed by 25% instead. You know, Estaque decreasing attack speed can be pretty cool, you know, it's not too bad of a debuff, but overall, it doesn't do much in PvE, alright, like you pull Estaque, may be usable in PvP in some cases, but again, it's a very bad sniper for PvE because it's a sniper that's almost like a tower that doesn't move front, it doesn't move forward, compared to like Xiaolin, let's say, or even Lyudmila, right? This guy really needs more buff, or at least give him the ability to hit air. So this is like similar with Xiaolin, this Estaque cannot hit air. He just can't hit air. I think that's something that they need to fix. I think he deserves to be able to hit both ground and air, and that's going to increase the functionality of Estaque at least in some situation. Moving on, Naielle Blue Steel. Now, Naielle Blue Steel is a 4-cost striker similar to Estarossa. Alright, now this is going to be interesting. I think Naielle is going to create a new meta for global, aka the rush meta. Now, what is so good about Naielle Blue Steel? She has the ability to charge forward with her skill, her special skill, and she's very annoying. Imagine her as an Awakened Hilde, but striker version. You know how Awakened Hilde can charge towards an enemy? Naielle Blue Steel can do that as well with her special skill. Alright, not the passive though. But for her case, she actually does more damage than Awakened Hilde, so it can be very scary if she's charging to your ship especially. Alright, let's talk about her abilities. You can see every 4th basic attack, she will deliver enhanced AoE damage and increase her attack speed by 50% if any unit in the field is killed. Alright, this is pretty crazy. She also has the ability to seal skill for 6 seconds from a special skill, right? If you get skill, you cannot cast anything. And she's immune to damage for 2 basic attacks after her special skill. So immune to 2 basic attacks meaning that 2 hits, alright? And that can include some special skill as well. So it's quite strong. She has the ability, this immunity can help her survive longer. And summon Spirit Swords inflicting AoE damage. This is for her ultimate skill. She has the ability to blind all enemies for 4 seconds. Now, Naielle Blue Steel is one of the best pair with New Detroit. If you plan to play a lot of New Detroit ship, you like that ship a lot, she is going to be a very good pair because striker. In my opinion, she fits the niche of rushing. Alright, if you're trying to rush, in terms of trying to hit the enemy ship faster, she's going to be one of the best one. So right now in global, I don't think we have access to much rush characters yet, but once Naielle comes, you're gonna see how toxic she is in PvP. Now in PvE, you probably won't use her that much. I'm not saying that she can't be used, right? But she doesn't have like a specific area where she excels at. For example, like Chifuyu probably has much more general usage than her. So if you only want to pull for PvE, she's not going to be that worth it. Alright, so keep that in mind. So she's mostly a PvP unit for the time being. And moving on, we do have Mika Star. Now, should you pull for Mika Star? I would say probably not. Alright, so now there are plenty of supporters in the game, and Mika Star is one of the supporters that I encourage you to not waste your blue tickets on. Like if you get her by accident, sure. But otherwise, she is mostly a meme character. Now, I know that she's been reworked. I still don't see the point of her existence right now because there's a lot of other supporters that can do what she does, right? Okay, let's have a look. First thing, she grants sleep immunity and evasion plus 200 to herself and surrounding units. Okay, this could be cool. We're gonna have, in the future, we'll have a character that has the ability to sleep everyone on the field. So after using special ultimate, the first basic attack decreases all enemies max HP on the field by 10%. Pretty cool, I would say. So she also have incoming healing, minus 25% added to the debuff. Now she's doing a little bit of a minus healing as well. Lee Jisoo can reduce more healing overall. Now that's good, let's proceed to the special skill. Alright, she attacks the enemy. Targets lose 10% of attack for 8 seconds. But if you upgrade this skill to level 5, targets attack minus 25% instead and seals their skills for 4 seconds. Again, not exactly new, Chifuyu can do this as well in a way, right? And also you don't want to debuff target's attack in PvE. Generally, you want to decrease the defense so that you can do more damage, right? Going on to the ultimate skill. Alright, so she does a lot of things here. Inflict AoE damage, targets will be stunned for 4 seconds. Also buff everyone's allies attack by 25% for 15 seconds. Now buffing everybody's allies attack by 25%, this is cool and all, but Young Harem can sort of do the same thing. Alright, I'm sure you guys are aware. Now you can see Young Harem can do the same thing, increase all allies attack by 20%, slightly less. It also restores their HP, and it also inflicts AoE damage on the enemies, and it also decreases enemy skill hits by 20%. So she does more things overall, and later on we're gonna have this character called Sky Layfield, which is just a better buffer overall. Sky Layfield also has the ability to increase attack of allies except for herself up to 30%. Again, Mika Star, I'm not saying that she's bad or extremely horrible to use. If you get her, sure, I think she's usable to a certain extent, but I wouldn't go out of my way to pull for her, especially when we have Ifrit coming as well, which is the last character that I'm going to talk about. Ifrit, the best striker in the game. Now, I know some of you guys are torn between this, alright? I know that, most of you guys play the game for waifus. This guy, my man, this guy is so toxic. This guy is so cancer. This thing is the best striker in the game, period. So once you have this thing, Gayun looks like a rare unit beside this guy. I'm not even joking. The amount of damage that Ifrit can do is just insane, incredible. Alright, if you think Admin Rifleman does a lot of damage, if you think Kalwong is good, if you think Gayun is strong, wait till you see what this guy can do. Alright, first of all, I know he's a striker, he's a 3 cost, but his damage is just insane. He melts Awakened Heal Day within seconds. I can literally kill an Awakened Heal Day with my Ifrit within less than 7 seconds. Awakened Heal Day full HP, poof, gone, dead. Alright, so let's talk about a couple of things. What is this guy mainly about? He has 4 guns on his gun thing, alright, and you can see he fire 4 machine guns. The attack stops after 12 seconds, or if the target dies or moves 7 meters away from it. Now the thing that the description doesn't mention is he has the ability to fire shots extremely fast. Like his attack speed, innate attack speed is just insane. So his passive skill basically gives barrier by 70% when deployed. So I didn't upgrade this to maximum. This is my advice to all of you. If you have Ifrit and you plan to use him in PvP, do not upgrade this skill to maximum, because now Yubin will one-shot him if you do. Alright, so make sure you guys only up this to level 4. Alright, just to be safe. Or you can have 2 Ifrit, 1 up to level 4 that you bring for PvP, and 1 up to level 5 that you bring for PvE. But in most cases, this is his extremely strong skill right here. You can have a look. Passive skill, Anti-Defender, he gives so much damage, total of 20% Anti-Defender damage and 20% Anti-Strike damage. And the special skill, increase his output, increase attack speed by 25% for 8 seconds. And he also gives you defense penetration by 25%. So Ifrit is by far the strongest striker in the game, even until today on C server or KR server, still the strongest. Also, this guy has the ability to hit air, which a lot of other strikers do not have. Once you have Ifrit, you're gonna see why he's very strong. Alright, he is just insanely good. He's been used in every content. If you want like a strong PvP, a strong PvE, you gotta pull for this guy. So overall, to sum it up, if you guys are pulling for characters in July, Serapel is gonna be the best one. In August, Ifrit is going to be the best one. Now, whether or not you are able to pull for both, that's going to be up to you. You have to look at your blue tickets and see if you have enough or not. I would prioritize Ifrit over Serapel, to be honest. Like, this guy is just insane. In most cases, you probably don't need that strong of a defender, but having an offensive unit like Ifrit is going to benefit most of you guys, most players, more than you think. So yeah, that's just my advice. If I can only pick one, I would definitely go for Ifrit more than Serapel. Or maybe you can consider try getting both and risk for both, because both of these units are pretty strong in their own rights. Ifrit for DPS, Serapel for defending, tanking stuff. Alright guys, so that's gonna be it for this video. It's a pretty long one, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, if you haven't already subscribed, give this video a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.